What are the top 5 most broken cards introduced in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond second set Infinity Evolve? Now that we're at the tail end of the second set and we're about to get into the third set, I wanted to cover my thoughts on this because it's kind of fun to see like a top level overview of the set as a whole. And also I wanted to wait until this late so that I could see the results in terms of the showings of these cards in esports tournaments, as well as, you know, the ladder and the GPs and stuff like that. So without further ado, number 5 is Ether Empyrean Guardian. Lots of people think Wardhaven fraud deck, overhyped, fell off on ladder, but the results kind of show otherwise. Maybe on ladder it's not that great, but because Rhinoceros is so prevalent in tournament, Wardhaven won a Shadowverse Open, which is the international circuit. It got 3rd place in the Shadowverse Korea Open, and I believe it got 2nd place in the Shadowverse NetEast Championship as well. Yeah, Wardhaven legitimately real, and I think Ether is the card that really pushes it over the line. Wilbert obviously is a big part of the puzzle too, giving you that crest that buffs everything, but Ether is a card that I think is more tail. It just gets better the more 3-cost followers or less get added into the game that Haven can then potentially play with, and that aura effect makes it super annoying to clear too. I think Ether just sneaks in to number 5 slot. Number 4, and this is one that was looking a little innocent during the reveal season, but then turned out to be an absolute beast. Volla the Blastwing. I mean, we all knew that it had great stats and the rush effect was great, but like just being able to super evolve like a ghost on top of Volla and then having it just be able to trade while the ghost goes face for a massive amount of damage. Huge. Also really great in all Abyss decks, aggro and mid-range, even controlling mid-range. They all run Volla. Just a card that instantly elevated the entire Abysscraft class into one that wins multiple tournaments across all of the circuits. So very, very strong, and I'm very confident to put it in 4th place here. Before I get into the top 3, because I think the top 3 are really just a cut above everything else, I want to talk about a few of my honorable mentions. First honorable mention is Neptune, Arbiter of the Tides. She gives you that crest whenever a Marine follower enters, you heal 1. Very, very strong. Gives you a lot of late game sustain, as well as being able to clear the board because the Majestic Megalorca has rush. So you just super evolve this card, deal with the entire enemy board, and it presents a huge ward that they have to deal with. And it also just makes all your other marine summoners like Merman and Call of the Megalorca better as well. Summoning Megalorcas for the rest of the game now just heals you forever. Another honorable mention I wanted to talk about is Ambush from Above. This card definitely doesn't make or break Rhinoceros Forest, but it was enough support to keep Roach very relevant in this current metagame. Just being able to deal 4 damage for 1 play point essentially. Good against wide boards, good against 1 tall threat, helps you combo because it's only 1 cost, so you can play it alongside your Roach. Fantastic card. I was also tempted to put Garden's Allure, but most people run like 2 Garden's Allure and 3 Ambush from Above, so I ended up going with the Ambush from Above for the honorable mention slot. My last honorable mention slot goes to Burgent Rejected Arts. I think a lot of people would actually put her in the top 5 with no hesitation, but I did want to put her just in honorable mentions because while she's good, and she's very good, giving you that crest that gives you an onion every turn, I don't think that she's the one that really pushed Runecraft over the edge. I think that there's a card in this expansion, which, you know, I'm sure if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a card that was added in this expansion for Runecraft that really basically kept them in the meta relevant for the entire time. And it's not her, but she is also very, very strong, just like basically a free spell boost every turn is great. If you're enjoying the video so far, do be sure to subscribe. It really does help the channel out. Even if you think you're subscribed, you might not be because of YouTube shenanigans, so I'd really appreciate it if you could double check. And now we go into my top 3. And in the number 3 slot, it is Gildaria, Anathema of Peace. Just an absolutely absurd card. It's the first free super evolve in the game. You just have to have 20 allied followers come into play, and that's really easy with, you know, cards that generate guys like Luminous Magus, like Amalia, And then when you play the Gildaria, it just means you basically always win in the grind game, unless you're fighting like lists that draw all 3 Gensetsu and Yuzukis. But other than that, this card is just ridiculous. You can play it on 6 and regular evolve it to still get the effect, and you get 2 Steel Clads with Rush. Clears basically anything. In the late game, it's a free super, it clears basically anything, and is hard to clear. I'm really okay with powerful effects being locked behind super evolve, if it means that super evolve is an actual resource you have to think about when to use. But because Swordcraft has just a free super evolver, they're just a step above so many other things in the entire game. Number 2 is Odin Twilight Fate. Looks like a short tech box, might be unassuming, but no, just unconditional banish of anything, and Storm just means that pretty much every deck runs this. It's so good because super evolve at 7 damage swing, which is, you know, more than a third of your total health in one card. The fact that it also disables Wilbert, it gets around Barrier, gets around a singular ward, which a lot of defensive plays just revolve around playing 1 ward, like, you know, Kuon only gets 1 ward, Guardia only gets you 1 ward. Odin's like, nah, I'm going face. So yeah, this card is just so ubiquitous. It's defining the entire game right now. But I don't like that its existence single-handedly makes every deck more expensive because it's a neutral card and you have to have it. And the number 1 slot, you know who it is. We all know who I'm talking about, right? It's Norman, Adamant Alchemist. Just a ridiculous card that gives Runecraft so much more gas. And the thing about this card is that it also gives Runecraft some of the most dynamic play lines in the whole game. You want to make a wide board that you know that they can't answer? Summon a bunch of Guardian Golems and give them Barrier. You want to heal a ridiculous amount? Just heal 8 randomly by playing this and evolving it, making you out of reach of a lot of lethal lines. Draw 3 cards, also an option. Refill your entire hand, why don't you? And it does suck, because I get that he's meant to be a power play for Earthright Rune, and you know, they were trying to push the archetype with cards like Lilanthem, but in the end, the deck that makes the best use of Norman is just Spell Boost, because you just run the Earthright cards anyway in Spell Boost, and then it gives you this sustain. And you know, back in Shadowverse Classic, they were really careful about giving Runecraft healing, knowing that their combo late game potential was unmatched. But now they're just giving Rune healing willy-nilly, and it really does make me worry. So we'll have to see how that affects the class identity going forward. But yeah, my number 1 spot for most broken card. And they had stiff competition between Gildaria and Odin. I think there was a case to be made for any of these 3 to take the top slot, but I think Norman was just unreal, so he's the most broken card in my opinion. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, you're sure to enjoy the video on screen right now, where I cover all of the important updates coming in the release of Set 3 for Shadowverse Worlds Beyond.